In our society today, if you show emotion, it is a sign of weakness. If you show genuine care, it is a sign of weakness. If you show your passions, your skills, your hobbies, it is a sign of you not being focused. It is a sign of weakness. And I just want to impress upon you that society starts and ends with you. It is okay for you to express your emotions. It is okay for you to treat every space like it's a safe space. You don't have to hide who you are. This is one of the things that I used to struggle with so badly. And it left me feeling isolated and alone because I found that every time I attempted to convey how I was feeling, it would fall upon deaf ears because of how I looked from the outside or how things appeared on the outside. And the truth is, you really don't know anybody until you have sat down with them and heard their story, heard their struggles, heard what they're going through. Every person has problems. It doesn't matter who they are. And our society is ruthless in a way. If you hop on TikTok or Instagram and you read some of the comments that large creators get, it is crazy. And I'm not here to say that that's super negative, even though it is negative. But I'm not here to demonize that, because people just speak about what they hold within themselves. People give to the world what they have within themselves. So if you carry hate for yourself, you're going to give that outward. What I do want to say, though, is that I want people in general to be so in love with who they are, to have so much self-respect and self-understanding and knowledge of who they are, such that they feel as if they can just be and they don't have to worry about how they're received. That is why it is important for you to express who you are, to express your emotions, to express how you feel, because you gotta live for you. You have to be so selfishly oriented that you are okay with making other people uncomfortable because they're not tapped into who they are. So the next time you feel as though you can't express yourself or be yourself or talk about your problems openly, just understand it is never a you problem if you are not received correctly. Open up to the right people, yes, but how can you know who's right to open up to unless you try, unless you express, unless you allow yourself to be? So never worry what anybody else thinks of you. Never worry how you are received. Just create, just be, just emote, just express, and let the chips fall where they may. That's it. It is the most courageous thing to be oneself, especially when that self is consistently changing as we grow. And old family members, old friends, people from your past will try to view you through the same lens that you have always been, when in reality you're in a whole different stratosphere. You're a whole different person. But because they have known you, or because they can watch your old videos, they will try to tie you to a past personality. Don't let them. It doesn't mean you can't be around them, but it means that you have to know who you are so well in this world. Before you go anywhere, before you speak to anybody, if you can be aligned and if you can move through the world with love and authenticity, you will be free. You will have no health issues. You will have no depression, because you are not depressing anything. You are not depressing anything. You are not pushing anything down within yourself. You are expressing. Expression rather than depression. And in this way, you get to tap into God force within you. Have you looked at any performers or singers or sports players when they're in flow? When somebody's in flow state, there are no distractions that could possibly take away their sight on their goal. And they don't even like remember who they are. They're just in flow. You know, they're not even thinking of themselves. They're just in flow. So flow state is the goal of life. And flow state happens when you burst out laughing with somebody that you love and you guys just sit and laugh for like hours over the same thing. Flow state is being comfortable enough to sit in silence with somebody for a long time. Flow state is being able to just write and have your words turn into magic and have that be read by millions of people because you were so focused on what you were doing that you took it all the way to the publishing house and you made it viral after that. Flow state is coming up with a viral video, not because it has worked before, but because it's from your heart. And I think that there's something to be said about inspired creation, even if you do take inspiration from others. You know, if you can just be authentic and tap into you, regardless of anything else, you're doing what you came to this planet to do. And nobody ever has the authority or the propensity or the real ability to get you to deviate from your authenticity, from who you are. Now, maybe you have not gotten the chance to know yourself well enough, so we are responsible for getting to know who we are so that we can express our truth out into the world. And however that looks, I have videos on my channel that I made when I was in such a dire position in my life. And I was struggling so badly. And me making those videos was all I had. It was all I had. And you would have never guessed from just watching me, you know, what I was going through. You would have never guessed. So, always be kind to yourself and to others. And be a full person. Be a whole person. Be so aware of your triggers, of your pain, of your desires, of your mission, of your successes. Be so aware and walk through the world with that full self-awareness. And nothing can make you compromise who you are. Nothing can make you compromise your morals or your values. I'm sitting in front of you today, filming this video as somebody who has gotten pushed down from all directions and is still very happily and fully progressing. So let me tell you that it is possible for you to not only rise out of your current situation, but for you to become somebody that you could have never imagined, with a bank account and a net worth that you could have never imagined, helping people in ways that you could have never imagined, showing up in ways that you could have never imagined, beating your shyness, beating your insecurity, beating your hopelessness, beating your depression, beating your poverty, and allowing for your spiritual rags to riches story to be globally known. That is your power. Tell your story. Don't let anybody make you feel bad for what you've been through. Don't let anybody make you feel bad for who you are. The more that you can tap into who you are, and the more that you can shine that essence out into the world, the more that you will have certain people shutting up, and the more that you'll have other people starting to talk about how they never even knew you in the first place. Don't even worry about what anybody says or thinks. Just do you and be you. This is the way to succeed. And take it from me, you can outgrow your current version today. You don't have to be a victim of life or circumstance. You don't have to be a shy girl that, this was my situation, that didn't know who she was because she is a girl, right? And she likes to be pretty and she likes to dress up, she likes fashion and modeling. So shouldn't she just be that? Maybe she should just not speak at all. She likes to sing, maybe she should do that. But there is this other side of her that has been through so much, that likes to coach, that is fierce in getting herself and others to actually change, that has been through many transformations, spiritual transformations. And so she wants to give the knowledge that she has earned to the world in ways that are actually applicable to people, in ways that actually hit people in their hearts, in their mind. And she wants people to not forget the importance of themselves. And she herself also wants to be unforgettable. And then you take the two sides of this girl, right? And in the middle, she has her own pain. And she has her own trauma. And she has been silenced her whole life. Abused in many ways. Abusing herself in many ways. Lost many times. Found many times. And then again lost many times. Too much she has been through. So she's angry. And she wants to be both. But she knows that she is like nothing at all. Because she understands that she's above and beyond the body and the ego at this point. And she can't deny what she has been through. And she does still have pain, and she does still have trauma. So she wants to be the biggest and the baddest and the best. And she simultaneously also wants to give that fire and that power to other people. Right? So she's angry. And so she let her anger fuel her. And at times she was just destroyed by her anger as well. Completely destroyed. By her pain, by her depression as well. By her inability to act, by her lostness and confusion. And her self-doubt. And her pain. And her being in a female body that somehow seems to contradict her intelligence. And she also wants to show everybody that hurt her in the past that she is not the same person that they hurt. All these things. So this girl has to juggle these three different separate avenues of herself. And yet she's still going through life and is being faced with challenges every single day. And she has a mission in this world. Because God told her, just be you, just go forth with it, just express, you are valid, you are powerful, go. So she has no choice but now to oscillate between these three versions of herself, while simultaneously every single day working to heal that anger and that pain from what she has been through and how she has suffered at the hands of life. That girl is me, and I'm sitting right in front of you and telling you that it is okay for you to be many, many different things at once. And I would be lying to you if I sat here and told you that I don't still sometimes cry, and sometimes I don't still get panic attacks, and sometimes I don't still feel very lost. All of that is there. But I use it. I use it as ammo. I use it as fuel. And I keep walking forward and moving forward. When I meet people and I feel nervous, I make the extra step to try to be friendly and give them my phone number, my information. Because I know that stagnancy is death. I know that when we don't add to the world in some way, we do die. Because I have been there and I have felt death. And the pain of transformation and the pain of trying new things and trusting yourself and putting yourself out there and failing is much sweeter. It is 1,000 times sweeter than the pain of death, which is soulless, bland, nothing. And that death, that stagnancy is inaction. It is the inability to act in any way. It is the inability to speak your truth, the inability to speak up to your boss, the inability to properly say goodbye when you leave a place, the inability to voice your pain to your therapist, the inability to even be yourself around your friends, the inability to express that you need help. That is death. And I don't wish that upon anybody. And I want to let you know that you have your whole life ahead of you. Nothing is said and done. You can make any change you want to today. And if you're worried about something, if you have problems, they can be taken away in an instant, in a split second. Don't look for the how, just pray. Pray about it and ask for your problem to be solved by a higher power. It will happen. I love you. Thank you for watching. Peace.